Let's study the water treatment process. This process comprises of several stages. The very first stage is sedimentation. So our next sight word is sedimentation. What happens during the process is that the water is allowed to stay for some time in a tank which is known as sedimentation tank. This water is having so many suspended solids in it. When it is allowed to stay, these suspended particles settle down at the bottom, and this process is called sedimentation. A few of these particles are still left in the container. Sometimes coagulants are also added. So our next sight word is coagulants. What are coagulants? These are chemicals which which allow these suspended particles to stick to them, and the rest of water is left free of suspended particles to some extent. Next step in water treatment is filtration. So our next sight word is filtration. After sedimentation, the water is transferred to a filtration chamber. There can be two types of filtration. We can either use fine screens, or we can also use sand filters. The fine screens are metallic sheets. Are metallic sheets which are having very small pores in them. What these sheets do is they do not allow suspended solid particles to pass through them, but they do allow water molecules to pass through them. The water which passes through these screens is known as filtered water. Similarly, in sand and gravel filter, there is a layer of fine sand which is followed by some pebbles, small pebbles which are known as gravel. So such a filter can also be used. This filter also allows only water molecules to pass through it, but do not allow suspended solid particles to pass through it. The third stage in water treatment process is chlorination. So our next sight word is chlorination. What happens during this stage is that the filter water is bubbled with chlorine gas. Why is chlorine gas bubbled? Because it is a disinfectant. Our next sight word is disinfectant. A disinfectant is a chemical which kills microorganisms, bacteria, or any kind of germs. So chlorine gas is a disinfectant here, which kills microorganisms. The water thus chlorinated is now called clean water, and it does not cause any harmful disease to the one who is drinking it. Let's review the water treatment process. First of all, raw water is collected in a reservoir. This water is containing so many impurities in it. It is then transferred to sedimentation tank. This sedimentation tank allows the water to stay for some time and the impurities settle down during the process. Then this water is transferred to filtration chamber, where the fine screens allow the movement of water, but they do not allow these particles to move or pass through these screens. This filtered water is then transferred to chlorination chamber, where chlorine gas is bubbled in water to kill the microorganisms, because chlorine is a disinfectant. This chlorinated water is now clean water and is collected in a clean water tank. This clean water is then stored in storage reservoir, from where it is transferred or supply to our homes, which is called a clean water supply. I hope you would have enjoyed the lecture and now you would be able to answer the questions asked in assignment. Now you can visit the link provided in your assignment so that you can have a much better understanding of the process. See you in the next lesson, inshallah. Till then, take care of yourself and your loved ones. Stay blessed and Allah Hafiz.